Hey guys, welcome in this new video. Finally, I'm going to test the NVK driver again, and as always, let's begin. Those are my specs. I have the same 4060, the same processor, the same RAM, my computer didn't change. The only thing that changed is the version of Mesa, which now we are in Mesa 24.3.1, which is the latest Mesa available at the recording of this video, on Arch and on any other distribution. And Mesa 24.3 and 24.3.1 received a lot of improvements on the NVK driver, so I thought it could be appropriate to test it again to see if performance changed a little bit. I don't expect huge numbers, I don't expect huge performance improvements, mainly because just less than 2 months have passed, but I'm curious to see, and this video is going to be a really good one. Also, before beginning, these are really good times for the NVK driver because the creator, or at least one of the developers, has said on a site called Collabora that now the focus for the NVK development is going to improve performance, because the focus was adding features, Vulkan features, for the last 2 years, but now that they've added most of them, their focus is on improving the performance of the driver. So that said, let's begin with the benchmarks. So this time I decided to start with Cyberpunk because I think it's what most people want to see. I think most people want to see the big games, how NVK handles them. So we're going to start with Cyberpunk. Those are the settings. Everything is set to low. Some things are set to medium, but I think I chose the low preset anyways. So everything is set to low for the most part. We also have FSR on, as I've explained in the older video, because if I don't have it on, it will just do 4 FPS and it's just not even watchable. Like it's really painful to watch, so at least with FSR we can get a little bit more. But as you can see, the benchmark has started and we are seeing 12, 13, 15, 16 FPS inside the bar. And you know, it is very low, it is, but I think it's a bit better than the last video. I think we are seeing a little increase in the FPS, which is good. Okay, it's a good thing, even if it's just 1 FPS more or 2 FPS more. When we have 10 FPS, 1 or 2 FPS more, you can kind of notice them. Like when you have so little FPS, any increase is noticeable. So even though it's not playable in this state, this is still an improvement, and it still shows that the development of NVK is still advancing at a fast pace. And as I've said, now they're going to focus on performance, so I really don't know what to expect, but I can just expect a lot more performance. Like we're going to actually get better performance on NVK, like actually, because that's their focus now. That's their focus, and I'm really happy that this is their focus, because for playing AAA games, NVK is not ready. Also, it has some bugs on the desktop where it crashes, like the desktop like freezes. I had those bugs pretty frequently, which is very annoying, and those bugs have not been fixed with the Mesa 24.3 and either 24.3.1, so I hope to see them fixed because they're super annoying as the desktop freezes. But in terms of raw performance, we're seeing an increase on Cyberpunk from 11 FPS, if I remember correctly, to 15.91 FPS. Now FSR, as I've said, is active, but still we can see an increase in performance. But we can see a little increase in performance. I'm going to show you side by side the performance of this video compared to the performance of the older video, which was recorded a little less than 2 months ago. So as you can see, there's been an improvement in everything, in the minimum FPS, in the maximum FPS, and in the average FPS. For some reason, the number of frames seem to be higher just by 2, but I think that's just FSR messing around. I don't know, but still we've got a lot better FPS, and that is very, very good. So now let's move to Minecraft. We're going to still play in the same world as the last test, and we're going to still have the same settings: 24 chunks render distance, maximum graphics, like fancy graphics. I've only changed the VSync because I want to see how much FPS it can actually get. I've also started the logging, as you can see right here, which means that we're going to get a couple of graphs at the end of this test. And I had a problem last time where it crashed one time, Minecraft. It also crashed before recording Minecraft, but this time it didn't crash, so maybe they fixed that. I don't know. It didn't crash, so it was a really smooth experience in that department. Also, the FPS felt a little higher because the gameplay felt smoother. It didn't feel stuttery like it was last time, even though last time we got around like 100 FPS or so. The gameplay was feeling very stuttery, it was not enjoyable at all. Those are some of the graphs, very playable FPS. And as you can see here, there is a side by side. And as you can see, we have higher FPS. We actually have higher FPS in this release of the MVK driver. So we are actually getting better FPS in Minecraft. You can pause the video to check. You can also check the graphs, and in next video we're going to also compare the graphs and what they say. So for Minecraft, this time we got an average of 120 FPS and a 1% average of 66 and a 0.1% of 51 and a 97% of 170 FPS. I don't know what 97% means, but let's say max FPS or 170. So very nice improvements from the older video. So I've also wanted to try Minecraft 1.12.2 because as you can see there is a graphical glitch in the menu and also a graphical glitch around the selection of the objects in Minecraft. Same settings overall, VSync is disabled, same exact settings. But look at where the pointer is in the middle of the screen. When I go and try to select a block, it has a weird colored glitch around it, and the main menu of Minecraft in this version and lower, okay, is glitched, and it has a very low resolution. I don't know precisely why, but I also wanted to test the FPS on this version, which is super higher than the version before. The version that we've tested before is the 1.21.1. This version is 1.12.2, so it's a very older version. Look at the glitch around the block selection, look at how bad it is, how weird it is. I hope it gets fixed soon. And yeah, also those are the graphs compared to the other version of Minecraft that we've tested before. Look at how many more FPS we get on the older version of Minecraft. So yeah, I just wanted to test this older version of Minecraft just for fun. So yeah, let's go to the next game. So let's move to Quake Live. Same settings as the older video, max settings. And there's not much to say about this game. It runs great game, it runs very good, very playable FPS, nothing to say about that. Those are the graphs. And here is the average FPS that we got and the max and minimum. So yeah, there's nothing to say about this game. It runs great. Let's move to the next one. So let's move to Life is Strange Remastered. I've wanted to try this game because I've never tried it on any MVK video that I made, and this is the second one, so I mean, it's pretty new, this series is pretty new. So I think it runs fine, it doesn't run great, it feels a little bit sluggish when I move the cursor to move the player around, but I think I can get used to that. It's not optimal, but MVK is going to improve, so these are already great results, to be honest. You can still play this game with MVK, like you totally can play the game with MVK, like it's not that it's sluggish, doesn't feel stuttery like Minecraft, it just feel a little bit sluggish, just a little bit, okay? It doesn't feel 100% smooth, even though the FPS are there, it's like a little bit sluggish. So those are the charts, as you can see, great result, it will get better, but it's already a great result. And this is the average FPS that we got and the max and minimum FPS that we got. So for the last game I've decided to try the Saboteur. This is a classic game of mine, I love this game. It's a 2007 game from Pandemic Studios, and as you can see it runs super great. Now it's locked at 60 FPS because this game, it's a bit glitchy by itself, okay, this is not a problem with Linux or Proton or anything else. This game can be a little bit glitchy, and if I select like 144 Hz, okay, which is my display refresh rate for this game, then it's glitched. Trust me, it's glitched. So it's capped at 60 FPS, that way it's not glitched and it works perfectly. It's still very smooth, as you can see. The game is always capped at 60 FPS, like the FPS is always at 60, which means that the MVK driver is perfectly capable of playing this game. And by this result, I think that MVK is perfectly great for older games at the moment. As I've said, this game is from 2007 and it runs perfectly on the MVK driver. So the MVK driver has improved a lot in just less than 2 months. We got better performance on every single game that we played. And if you want to play older games, you can already use the MVK driver. Now keep in mind that there is that bug that I mentioned before on the desktop where it freezes, at least on KDE Plasma, so that's a bad bug, okay, that needs to be fixed ASAP, because I had that bug even when recording the older video 2 months ago, so it still hasn't been fixed, and this is a deal breaker for me. Like, I wouldn't use the MVK driver because of that bug, because it happens frequently. You never know when it happens, you can't expect when it happens, so when it happens, you have to press like the Windows key, the super key, okay, fast multiple times, then you have to click a little bit to get it unstuck from that freezing state. But other than that, performance have improved, and not only that, they've added more Vulkan extensions, they've also added Vulkan 1.4 capabilities, and this driver will become Vulkan 1.4 conformant when Mesa 25 will get released. And if I remember correctly, Mesa 25 will be available and released at the start of 2025, early 2025. So yeah, this is it for today's video, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please like and subscribe, it will really help this channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye!